Ménage Garage and their track, Die in a Fire. So, guys, tell us about that track.
John, what it was with that track? It has a long story. Well, but make it short.
We have another song called Ugly Duckling, which is kind of about someone who's been bullied.
Huh.
And during one of our practice sessions, the gang was like, well, we had some new chords, and we were kind of running through these new chords, and I asked, what should this song be about? And kind of turned out that everybody said, well, what if we did a response to another song? Turned out to be Ugly Duckling, and so this song's lyrics are kind of a response, as if we are responding to someone who wrote us a letter about the song Ugly Duckling.
Huh.
And Ugly Duckling being about bullying, this song, these lyrics, to me, there's always been a little bit of tension in my mind about people's tendency to tell folks when they're troubled that it gets better.
It gets better.
Because there are certain people who, their outlook on life, they don't believe you, right? You can say, no, it'll get better, don't worry, kid, it's going to be fine. And that kid's going to say, no, you don't tell me that. Adults always say things like that. And there's a certain mindset that responds better if you say, well, I don't know if it's going to get better. This is just the way life is. Life doesn't owe you anything. What are you going to do? Are you going to give up? Are you going to, are you going to turn tail and run? Are you going to, what if it never stops raining? What if it never rains again? All of this stuff is an unknown. So that's kind of what the song is about. It sounds on its surface like it's very pessimistic and down, but it's really kind of a call to action about what are you going to do if things don't go your way.
I dig that message. And let's get to know you guys. So what I want you to do is, if you would introduce yourselves, I want to find out about who's John and who's Jenny, and then I also want tell us about Ménage Garage and where the brief history. You don't have to give me the long ones here, but the brief story about the band. Tell me.
Sure. Well, we met at Flash Band, which is an amazing little organization in DC. It's a great resource for musicians. And, the theme was trios, and so hence Ménage. It has actually no other overtones. It's just about three people.
Got it. Okay.
Playing music. We're a trio, power trio. Both John and I have our long musical histories, and I've been in a couple bands, and he's been doing all sorts of really educated musical things.
So does this go all the way back? Are we talking like elementary school? And
I think probably so, yeah, for both of us.
Back there.
Lifelong learning.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Got it. And at what point did you guys decide that even as adults we're going to keep doing this music thing, or has that always been the case? Did you stop and then come back to it?
I never considered,
No.
It never occurred to me that I could stop.
Yeah, I don't believe in once a musician, always a musician. Sometimes you may have a dry period where you're just not plugged into whatever you're.
I see people stopping and doing other things, and I used to do that. And I've met plenty of people that have done that. It just never occurred to me to do that.
No, doesn't occur to us.
There's nothing wrong with it.
That's why we're middle-aged people who play rock music and just embarrass ourselves publicly, and that's just what we do.
It's a calculated embarrassment.
No,
it's a skill. That's even better.
It's a true talent.
Owning my embarrassment.
It takes extra special skill.
There it is. So, well, then tell how did you get into music? Way back in the beginning.
Okay, well, my older brother, I was always surrounded by music. My older brother listened to a lot of really great albums, and he was kind of into the punk scene in Southern California, and so, I got to listen to things like Husker Du and all those things way back in the day. I've always just been attracted to music, and went to my first concert, Roxy Music, when I was 14, and that was a pretty good start. So both just being a musician and just music has been a survival mechanism. I mean, it's I can't live without it.
Wow.
So there's just no question.
Committed to it. What about you, John?
Well, my mother started me on piano lessons in second grade, And then she started me on cello lessons in 3rd grade, and then I started myself on drum lessons in 4th grade
Oh my goodness.
to get back at her for making me play the piano and the cello. And I played all 3 of those things the whole way through high school and into college, where I went to Millersville in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, for music education.
Yeah.
So that was until I was, 21, 22, something like that. And after that, played a lot of weddings, played a lot of string quartets, church cantatas, that sort of thing. And but I love pop music and taught myself guitar when I was working at a movie theater, running movies. And when you run the movies, you usually have a lot of downtime, like 45 minutes while everything's playing.
That does make sense.
So
yeah.
I would bring my guitar in and be up in the booth and just playing and writing songs and teaching myself how to do that, which is what I really always wanted to do while I was learning how to play Mozart on the cello.
That's amazing. All right. So
Nice.
what do you love and appreciate? I love to ask folks, what do you love and appreciate about the DC music scene?
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't even know if this is unique to DC, but it's just been my experience of DC, which is there are so many good people in the scene, and maybe that's just, we've just been fortunate to plug into various musical communities. I just find people are very welcoming and supportive of each other as musicians. So one of the best things, and which is why I love that we're here today, one of the best things is just getting to listen to all of this DC music and learning about it, because otherwise, I mean, we're not for your show and the live shows that happen around town, we wouldn't know about all this great music.
It's true. John, what about you? What do you love about the scene?
Well, like Jenny said, there are a lot of talented, generous people in the scene, such as yourself and your bandmates, and some of the folks that we're going to play. Well, I guess all of the folks that we're going to play today.
No, just some.
Not just
we're
some
gonna
of them.
call 'em
Well,
out.
there's one. But
Yeah.
that's really what it
Who will
is.
remain unnamed.
The quality and the level of proficiency of the music in DC is very high. Historically, DC has a great tradition of professional level music, and the DC, even the DIY and amateur scene, keeps that level up, which is what I appreciate, because I don't consider myself a hobbyist. I mean, I aspire to a professional level of quality, even though it's not how I make my living. And I think that's what you have to do if you're a passionate musician, unless you're just going to be at home playing the guitar and playing Jimmy Buffett, which is perfectly fine, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not me.
Right. And what you say is really true. Also, I gotta say, in doing this show, I've gotten to see so many of these really talented people who, they do this on the side and they're professional caliber, but they do it on the side as their hobby, and they make their living another way. And it's truly incredible to see.
It's an avocation
them and-
versus a vocation.
Exactly. Well, very eloquently put. I dig it. Tell me about your best show that you've done here in town. Well, not even in town, just in general. What's the
In
best show
general.
you've done?
Well, I mean, we're having a little debate about this, but so John, there was one particular show at Wonderland Ballroom where we were, just because stuff happens, we were forced to really.
They have a hard stop.
We had a hard stop. We were the last band, and suddenly there was just no more time left at all. And we had to pretty much figure out how to play our nice, cozy, 35-minute set in about 20 minutes.
Oh my.
And we were just like, jumping on stage, and we just said, let's do it. And we
Judicious
just
cuts,
throw down,
no
yeah.
pedals, no nothing.
nothing,
Wow.
and the crowd that was there just went. They were great. They went crazy. They were bouncing off the walls, dancing. They were just thought it was just amazing.
They knocked the monitors over.
our music is
crazy.
well suited to like having to go really fast anyway, so it worked out okay.
This is true. The punk genre, definitely good,
Yeah.
upbeat tempos, upbeat energy. I can imagine that was one heck of a show.
Right. And I would say
What-
we're definitely more in the pop punk realm, just not to mislead anybody, but
Gotcha.
but
Okay, pop punk.
but punk in spirit all the way. So you
Got
nailed
it.
that.
Now, what's the future look like for you guys? What is it for? Well, I shouldn't. Let me just ask it. What's the future look like for you guys?
Long. There are a lot of years.
A lot of years, so you're not going anywhere. Okay. And is there a goal you're working toward, or just want to keep making music?
Always. Yes, that is the point. Oh, and now we got our drilling guy right behind us. So, yeah,
Playing a
we're
triad.
yeah, he's trying out.
We aspire to play at every venue in DC.
That's
That would be a great achievement.
Aye,
That would be a milestone
nice.
for us.
Yeah.
We've still got some to tick off that we're working on, but that's what I think the future would hold for us.
Yeah.
And more recording. We're kind of thinking about different approaches to recording and how to put out music in 2016. Like, how does it work today? What's the best way? We've recorded an EP, and we've watched a lot of our friends, including Fellowcraft, release their EPs, and we're trying to learn from that and figure out, like, what is the modern what is
How
the
do
way
you
for
do
the
it?
90s to do it, you know?
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So true.
we do have an EP coming out, and we want to continue to record because we already have a bunch of songs that we are chomping at the bit to like get into the studio, and even if we're just doing one at a time, just getting them out so folks can enjoy them.
That's- okay,
Yeah, and as for all those venues, that we're gonna play, venues out there, we're looking at you.
They're
See you.
excited.
Watch
We-
out.
yeah.
Here we
Excited.
come.
We write a lot, and it will be great to have our songs out there for people who come to the shows to be able to hear in advance and maybe look forward to them, rather than a more traditional approach of recording it and then working on it, and then 6 months later you release it and then you play those songs. We're just thinking about different approaches to that. So I think that's in our future, is some experimentation.
What about one of my favorite questions to ask is one piece of advice you would offer to musicians?
Join Flash Band.
And be yourself.
Best, most succinct answers yet. Join
Boom.
Flash Band and be yourself. And what about a special message for your fans?
Oh, my fans. Wait, so how many is
Jenny's
that?
fans.
All those
we
fans
love
out
you.
there.
Yes, I think I'm gonna try to get this guy who's drilling the door to be our fan. We are super excited when actually this is just so you know in inner workings of a musician's brain, right? That we were really excited when we met our first fan who we did not know. We did not. They were
yes.
not
Yeah,
someone's
it was a milestone.
friend, or
It's the transition.
I mean, it ended up it was somebody's friend, but
Yeah.
but she legitimately said, no, I came because of you guys, not just because I know your friend over here.
You know,
That's just a
Yes.
coincidence.
I don't think
So-
she's been to a show since that
Yeah,
one.
that's true. Well,
but
we're
there's been
working
so
on
many
it.
others
So-
since then.
So we're asking, won't you be our fan,
She just did that to get
please?
us to buy her a beer, I think.
Uh,
I'm your fan.
There you go.
It worked.
Clever. I dig it, guys. Well, so, and for those folks who want to find out more about Ménage Garage, where do they go? What are the best places to find you?
All the places.
all the places, Facebook. I know we know that that it's a struggle for people who don't know French, that we have all these accents. Okay, but
You don't have to type the accents
no,
in
you
and you'll still get to
don't.
us.
You don't. It's spelled.
Okay.
It's not Nicki Minaj spelling. It's Ménage a garage. That's like the easiest phonetic
Nice.
spelling I can kind of give over the radio.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
type that
And
if you
so-
type that into any convenient search box, you will probably find us.
You just
That's
Google.